everybody, I'm Sarah and I'm a recorder player. Welcome back to Team Recorder. If you haven't subscribed already, please take half a second to do so. This is your second recorder lesson. A while back I did your first recorder lesson, that's over here. So if you haven't watched that, go and do that first. And a lot of you really seem to like that, so I thought I'd do a follow-up. In this tutorial, I'm going to give you some tips, some fun practice exercises and games, and we're going to learn a song. It only has one extra note than in the last tutorial, but because of the extra techniques I'm giving you, you're really going to improve your playing. Before we get started, I want you to make sure the head joint of your recorder is nice and warm under your arm because that stops condensation, that your posture is good, 2 feet firmly on the floor, standing up nice and straight, and you're holding your recorder in a relaxed way with your left hand at the top. I've done in-depth videos on all of these things, links in the description. Let's start with some warm-up exercises. We're going to blow a long, steady, relaxed note as if you're blowing up a balloon. And we're going to wiggle our fingers to warm them up in a relaxed way. So just look at my fingers or listen and copy. You can see me kind of swaying while I'm doing this, and I'm doing this to make sure that nothing is tensing up in my neck or shoulders. This next exercise is to warm up your fingers and relax all of your body at the same time. We're going to wiggle our fingers randomly, just blow and move around in all directions. Funny, but just go with it. Now we're going to warm up our tongue. Remember that I said we start all of the notes with a tongue stroke. Da, da, da. So I want again you to listen and copy. So I just said that with the recorder we start every note with the tongue. But that's not strictly true. You can also choose to not use your tongue and join the notes up. This is called a slur, or in Italian, legato playing. It gives a much smoother feel. This is called articulation, and by shaping the notes in this way, you can make your music a lot more expressive. We're going to practice this with the notes B, A, and G. I want you to listen to what I'm playing and copy. Gonna throw something a bit more complicated in there. When you play a legato phrase, all these notes joined up, you do tongue the first one. Isn't it nice to have an independent tongue? Let's get into the song we're going to learn today. It's a classic, you probably already know how it goes. Amazing Grace. I'm going to be linking a lot of the notes together in legato playing. If you want, you can start with tonguing every note if that's a bit of an easier middle step for you. This version of Amazing Grace is going to use the notes D, E, G, A, B, and high D. Thumb hole open at the back. We're going to start off with D up to G, both tongued. And I'm going to give you a tip right away here. These low notes sometimes crack if you tongue them too hard. So here you could just do a really soft do or even hoo. After this, we get something that we've actually already practiced in this video. The B, A and G are joined together. So you tongue the B, join the A and the G onto it, and then you tongue the B again. Those two next to each other. Then we have the B and the A are joined together, and then the G, E, D are tongued. I'm going to pause here and just take a second to talk about rhythm. If you listen carefully, you'll hear that the and are slightly different rhythms. The is faster. We're doing something that if you write it down on paper seems terribly complicated, but if you just listen, it's the most natural thing in the world. The first phrase splits the beat into 3. Da 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 da. And the second splits the beat into 2. Da da da. In fancy music terms, these are called triplets and tuplets. I like to introduce these rhythms really early. Just listen and you'll get it. Now we go back to the beginning with a little extra note. I've popped an extra G in there, why not? Makes it a bit more decorated. Then again we get, you'll be a pro at that by now. Here's the trickiest bit. The hard thing about going up to a high D is that actually the balance of the instrument is changing. With a B, you're probably carrying the weight here. With the D, the thumb falls away and you get this. For me, just being aware of that fact already helps a lot. Next part. Another nice moment for you to practice that B to D balancy change. Then again we get our friend that is stuff we've all had before. The next part we've had already as well. And then the ending is just going to take it back home to the G. This piece has a lot of long notes. Try and make sure in the start you're producing a steady stream of air that isn't wobbly. Not. Later on, when you're a bit more advanced, you can put some vibrato in there. But first we want a stable foundation. Okay, let's try and play it all together. As I said, if you want to tongue every note, that's fine. If you want to play them legato, go for it. Let's just play. anything about where to breathe, but if you listen, I was actually just breathing at the natural ends of the sentences, the phrases. You won't breathe in the middle of a word if you're speaking, so don't do that if you're playing. So let's see, in this video we've covered a lot. We've recapped some of the basics from the first video, we've done warm-up exercises, articulation, legato, triplets and tuplets, the balance of the instrument, breathing technique, air support, and a new song. Well done! Why not try and apply some of these techniques to other simple songs? And as always, if you have questions or comments, let me know, because I love to answer them in future videos. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face down here. Down here is a link to the Team Recorder Patreon where you can support the channel, and in the description is our web shop where I sell merchandise and CDs. Up here is a link to which recorder book should you buy, should you want that. Thanks ever so much for watching and have a great day. Bye! Oh!
I love you, get to be in the video.
What is happening?
It's cool.
Matil, can you play the recorder? Matil.